Xiahua never expected that her useless little brother would become the top scorer of the Gaokao exam. Not only would professors from the 3 top universities fight to recruit him, but the school would also award him a 1 million yuan scholarship. All of this happened because, just before the Gaokao, an S-grade superpower suddenly awakened inside him, a terrifying purple lightning ability. In the future, this power could evolve again and become the most powerful SSS-grade cosmic thunder. This is a world where ferocious beasts rule the land. When people turn 16, a unique superpower awakens within them. These abilities are divided into 9 different quality levels. Unfortunately, the power that awakened in me was the lowest level lightning ability, barely stronger than an electric stun rod. Because of this, not only did my classmates laugh at me, but even the most beautiful girl in the class, Lin Qing, refused to team up with me for the Gaokao exam. That's because in this country, the Gaokao exam is divided into 2 streams. Those with weak powers or those who don't want to take risks can choose the art stream. But anyone who chooses the military stream must enter the practical exam and fight dangerous beasts. This world has never been safe. Even my parents were killed during one of those attacks. My parents were killed in the last beast invasion. I didn't want to remain just as helpless and weak when the next disaster arrived. If I wanted to get into a superpower university, I had to risk my life. The moment I clenched my fist, a panel suddenly appeared in front of me. The system had been activated. Do you want to receive the newbie package? I was completely shocked. The newbie package contained an S-grade superpower. In the entire country, an S-grade user might appear only once every 3 years. Every top university goes crazy trying to recruit someone like that. For someone like me who had always been considered completely useless, this was a chance to change my fate. Without hesitation, I accepted the package. Then the S-grade power awakened. Purple lightning erupted everywhere. A strange and overwhelming energy burst through my body. My entire body became wrapped in blue-purple lightning flames, and it felt as if I had turned into a terrifying ball of lightning. A blinding flash exploded outward and the door of my room was blown open with a loud bang. Lightning and flames shot out through the window. The neighbors downstairs saw the explosion and immediately called the fire department. But inside the room, I had no idea what was happening outside. At that moment, my synchronization with the power had only reached 70%. Outside, the previously clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sky. A lightning dragon, looking completely real, began circling above the building. Its terrifying pressure spread across half the city. Nearby, an army officer looked out of the window and frowned. Is a powerful lightning-type beast attacking the city? He immediately put his soldiers on high alert. At that moment, the lightning dragon descended from the sky and merged directly into my body. My power was finally complete. I slowly raised my right hand, and with just a thought, countless purple lightning sparks flashed across my fingers. A single strike from this power could completely shatter anyone it hit. I looked around at my ruined room and scratched my head with a smile. Wow! This commotion really got out of hand. Luckily, I had managed to control my power at the last moment. Otherwise, the entire house would have been blown apart. I checked the system panel again. It showed that I could earn points by killing beasts. These points could be used to increase levels and unlock skills. It was a simple system and it suited me perfectly. The exam was tomorrow and I had 200 points to distribute. I needed to place them wisely to increase my fighting power as much as possible. The true strength of a power lies in both the body and the mind, so without hesitation, I increased these 2 basic attributes first. Suddenly, a warm energy flowed through my body. A warm energy rushed through my body. My blood started flowing faster, and even my thinking felt sharper than before. Now it was much easier to attack and control my power. And the feeling that I could summon purple lightning anytime I wanted was simply incredible. The panel showed that my physical and mental power had both increased by 20 points. With strength like this, getting into a superpower university shouldn't be a big problem anymore. But I still didn't know how big the gap was between me and those top students who had been training with experts since childhood. It seemed like I should go to a fighting academy first and check my real level. Suddenly, my room door was kicked open with a loud bang. A group of firefighters rushed inside. We received a call that there was a fire here. I quickly explained that I had been training my power, and that was what caused all the noise. Everything was under control now. The fire officer looked at the destroyed room and said in shock, "A student's training can cause an explosion like this? That's unbelievable." After making sure everything was safe, they left. I immediately went downstairs and apologized to the neighbors, telling them the fire had already been handled. After that, I rushed straight toward the Lightning Fighting Academy. In this country, Lightning Academy and Beast Academy are the 2 biggest chains of fighting academies. The Beast Academy membership costs about 1 million a year, so it's mostly for rich kids. The Beast Academy membership costs about 1 million yuan per year, so it's mostly for wealthy kids, while Lightning Academy is free for all high school students. As soon as I entered the lobby, I saw a tall and beautiful girl I recognized. It was my cousin, Tang Chi. I smiled and said, "Chi, you're here too?" She nodded slightly. She had come with a friend. I didn't stay long, just greeted them briefly and headed straight toward the training room. The cute girl standing beside her asked curiously, "Chi, who was that? He looks pretty handsome." "That's my cousin, Su Qing. Tang Chi replied. He's in 12th grade and will take the military stream exam tomorrow. The girl smiled and said, with looks like that, if only his power were a little better, it would be fun to take him out somewhere. Tang Chi immediately crushed her expectations. Don't dream about it. His power is only level 1. The girl, Xiaoya, looked disappointed. A boy beside them laughed and said, even with a level 1 power, he still dares to take the military stream exam. That's actually pretty admirable. Tang Chi sighed. I really don't want him to take such a big risk. After that, they continued walking around the Lightning Academy, since Tang Chi had been training at the Beast Academy for the past 3 years. Meanwhile, inside the training room, I picked up my spear. I grabbed my spear, and suddenly it felt lighter. No. It wasn't the spear that had become lighter. I had become stronger. First, I wanted to test my strength without using my power. I swung the spear hard at the target. The target bent inward and then bounced back. 321 points. That was twice my previous strength. An ordinary person's maximum physical strength is usually around 100 points. Then I summoned my purple lightning. Instantly, bright purple electricity crackled around my body. At that moment, I felt like a god of lightning. I raised my finger and released a bolt of lightning toward the target. 32 points. I hadn't even reached level 1 yet, but my attack power was already stronger than the average level 1 ability user. But that still wasn't my limit. I took a deep breath and wrapped purple lightning around my spear, combining it with the fighting skills I had trained for 2.5 years. Then I launched a powerful strike. In an instant, the entire training room filled with blinding lightning. My spear shot forward like a purple-black dragon and struck the center of the target. The impact felt like an earthquake. The entire academy shook violently. At that exact moment, Tang Qing and her friends were passing by the hallway nearby. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. The ground beneath their feet shook violently. One of the boys looked shocked and said, this level of power, that's expert level. Xiaoya frowned in confusion. I remember that on this floor there are only high school students, and anyone who reached level 1 this year is already training at the Beast Academy. Tang Chi suddenly became curious. Let's go and On the day of the exam, early in the morning, more than 1,000 students took buses to an army base outside the city. I stepped off the bus holding my black spear and saw that the exam center was a ruined town surrounded by electric fences. Someone nearby said nervously, this place, it's Unicorn Ruins. The exam is this difficult this year. A proud voice suddenly replied, if you can't even handle this much, then forget about getting into a superpower university. Useless. I turned to my friend Lu Ji and asked, who is that? That's Cho Mingyang, the top student from first high school. He has a B-grade power and is already a level 1 expert. I smiled slightly. So this is the biggest candidate to become the top scorer this year. I wondered how long he could last against my S-grade power. The exam's head commander, Wang Haiyang, began explaining the rules. The exam will last 12 hours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. This ruined town is divided into 3 areas: the outer zone, the middle zone, and the inner zone. The stronger the beasts you defeat, the more points you will receive. The inner zone contains beasts equivalent to level 2 strength. For ordinary students, we strongly suggest you stay in the outer zone and act within your limits. Move according to your strength. Don't lose your life just chasing points. A smile appeared on my face. If this had been before, I would have just wandered around the outer area. But now, I even had the courage to enter the innermost zone. Just before the exam started, the class teachers began distributing equipment to every student. Everyone received a backpack. Inside it was a smartwatch that showed points in real time. There was also a tactical bag, energy bars, drinks, and a medical kit. Finally, there was a green safety ball. If your life is in danger, activate this, the teacher explained. The ball will create a high-voltage grid that ordinary beasts cannot break. However, once you activate it, your exam will immediately end. But remember, nothing is more important than your life. At that moment, the most beautiful girl in the class, Lin Qing, walked over to me. Su Qing, you still haven't formed a team. Why don't you join our team today? Behind her stood a white-haired boy, who said impatiently, Class monitor, you can't help everyone. The team can only have 5 members. If we bring him along, how will we get high scores? It was obvious that the others didn't want me on their team. Lu Ji got angry and was about to argue with them, but I stopped him. Then I politely declined the class monitor's offer. I said, thank you, everyone. I can take the exam alone. Lin Qing Yuan saw that I had already made up my mind, so she didn't insist. She simply said, take care of yourself. The others quickly took her with them and went to form a team with Hong Tian. I smiled to myself. Even without you, I can still get the highest score. As soon as the exam began, cameras and drones started live streaming the entire event. Students rushed into the ruined town like a flood. Every team, and even those fighting alone, began moving deeper inside. Cho Mingyang immediately used his power and took off into the air, flying forward at an incredible speed. That I chose a direction and started moving as well. When I turned on my smartwatch for the first time, a blue screen appeared. After confirming my identity, it displayed the real-time exam rankings. Cho Mingyang was already in first place with 7 points. Damn. He's really fast at killing beasts. I didn't stop there and headed straight toward the inner zone. I hadn't gone very far when I saw a student lying on the ground ahead of me. His condition looked terrible. He hadn't even had the chance to use his safety ball. No wonder the class teacher kept warning me again and again to give up the military stream. Now I understood why the class teacher kept telling me again and again to give up the military stream. If I hadn't suddenly obtained an S-grade power, I would probably have ended up in the same condition today. The military stream is no joke. Just as I called the help desk for that injured student, A dark shadow cat suddenly let out a bloody roar and started moving toward me on silent paws. It had been hiding in the shadows, deliberately leaving its prey alive to lure in more victims. When I turned around, it was already only 3 feet away from me. The beast suddenly leaped forward and slashed directly toward my face. I quickly stepped back and dodged the attack. The shadow cat was extremely fast. Its claws and teeth were incredibly sharp, and its strength was more than 1,000 kilograms. For new students, it was one of the most dangerous beasts. The worst part was that this creature emitted a terrifying aura that made beginners unable to use even 3/10 of their true strength. The result was obvious. That's why rich families hired professional bodyguards to train their children in advance, so they could learn how to handle this kind of pressure. But I didn't have that kind of luxury. This was my first direct encounter with a beast. The dark shadow cat lunged at me again. But instead of stepping back, I moved forward. My spear flashed like lightning and pierced straight through its throat, pinning it in the air. This terrifying aura had no effect on me at all. The system immediately displayed a message. Level-less dark shadow cat killed. Reward, 3 points. Beasts were also divided into levels 1 through 9. A creature without a level only gave a small number of points. I didn't want to waste time in the outer zone, so I moved toward the middle area. Along the way, I killed several more beasts, including iron woolly pigs, dark shadow cats, and unicorn rhinos. However, I still hadn't used my true power, my purple lightning. I didn't use it. I kept fighting only with my spear skills. One reason was that I wanted to gain more experience, and the second reason was that an S-grade power consumes a huge amount of energy. If I used it at full strength, it probably wouldn't last even 1 hour. Meanwhile, my old level 1 power could last for almost 3 hours. But the exam lasted 12 hours, so it was important to save my power. However, something surprising happened. Even without using my power, just by fighting with my spear, my combat skills began reaching an advanced level. Every strike I made became smoother and faster than before, as if my muscles had already memorized everything. That a thought suddenly appeared in my mind. Why not use the points I had already earned to strengthen my skills even more? The moment I did it, hundreds of advanced spear techniques suddenly flowed into my mind, as if I had spent decades practicing them. Now, I was capable of facing level 1 beasts at that moment. A team happened to be nearby. Lin Qingyuan suddenly stopped. I think I just saw Su Qing. 2 of her teammates didn't believe her. Class monitor, you must have seen wrong. If he came here, he'd just be walking straight into death. Lin Qingyuan also began to doubt herself. Maybe I really saw it wrong, she thought. But then they noticed a dead unicorn beast lying nearby. The wound that killed it was clearly made by a spear. Lin Qingyuan was shocked. Could it really be that Su Qingming killed it? The red-haired boy immediately doubted it. How is that possible? Only someone with at least a C-grade power can kill a unicorn beast. Let's check his score and find out. Lin Qingyuan quickly opened the real-time ranking list. And it was true that Su Qing was ranked 46th with 256 points. Everyone around her was stunned. With just a level 1 power, he's already in the top 50? That's unbelievable. Outside, in the spectator gallery, people were watching the live stream of the exam and discussing the top 10 students. Most of them believed that Chou Mingyang, who was currently ranked first, had the highest chance of becoming the top scorer. The director of the education department, Chang Wenshan, was smiling as he agreed. Chou Mingyang is indeed very talented. He has a strong chance of entering the top 100 of the entire province. Among the top 10 students, 9 were from first high school. Only 1 student from third high school had made it into the list. Your second high school still needs to work harder, someone commented. Their best student was currently ranked 18th. The principal of second high school nervously searched through the ranking list. He suddenly froze for a moment. He realized that only 8 students from his school were in the top 50. Then suddenly, when he saw my name, he froze. Who is Su Qingming? My class teacher, Chun Fan, thought he might have heard it wrong. Su Qingming is also in the top 50? Could it be that this boy had been secretly hiding his true strength all along? On the big screen, only close-up footage of the top 10 students was being shown, so none of my footage appeared. At that moment, I had already reached the middle zone. There were fewer beasts here, but they were much stronger. Beasts at this level had intelligence and usually divided the territory among themselves. After walking a short distance, suddenly a beast appeared ahead of me. This is just a demo video. If you like it, I will continue bringing more videos like this. Please let me know in the comments if there are any mistakes or problems in the video so I can improve. Thank you for watching. This is a demo video. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel. The next one will be even stronger. Also like and comment for the next part. Thank you for watching.